Welcome back to the channel, guys. I do appreciate all of y'all, all the 46 subscribers that I've had. I recently did get a new project and I haven't posted about it in a month and a half or something like that. I've gotten a little busy. I'll explain why in a few minutes. But I had pretty much an epiphany this past month. Like, I've been seeing Adam LZ with his, I just watched this video of the E36 2JZ, which them straight cut gears is just minty. It sounds so nice, and I want my own compound and stuff like that one day. But what I originally want to start is drifting. That is something that I'm very passionate about. I really want to get into it. I've seen drifting. I've never been in passenger or driver, but as you can see right now, the phone is on the Z. But I had an epiphany why I think the Z is not running. So I know part of the ECU is back as two, I believe, diodes are burnt in the ECU, or it's one, I can't remember. But I backtracked to the ignition control module, to the coil, to plug wires, spark plugs, to the crank angle, crankshaft sensor, same thing, and all of it tested out good, and all of that is new. So what I've been trying to figure out is because I do not have my fuel pump plugged in, and this is it is an 86, and these cars are a lot more intricate, temperamental. So I had an epiphany with this month that I think just because the fuel pump's not connected, I'm not having any spark, because there's a relay, I believe the electronic fuel injection relay, which is that green relay tucked right there next into the battery. If you're familiar about these cars, I believe, since I don't have the strainer or the actual fuel pump assembly connected, the whole gas tank has been out. I wonder if that could be my issue, because obviously if there's no spark, there's no injector pulse, and it cranks good. So I'm hoping that that's my issue, so that way I can further clean out my tank, look at brand new, throw the fuel pump in, all like that. I have the fuel pump, I did just bring it, and I'm very hopeful that this is definitely going to be my starting drift car. I know it's going to get beat up. She's got a little bit of rust, you know, so that's why, I mean, I could always repair it. That's the thing, you know, I can repair it, and it's going to get beat up. So I'm going to show you all a new project that I got. I'm pretty excited. If you know me, or you've watched my, but if you know me, or if you played like Forza with me growing up and all like that, and the previous vehicles that I've had, especially if like you're one of my best buds, you know that I had one of these vehicles, and I've been dying to get another one, because unfortunately the engine blew up, and I was grateful enough to find one for a good price, a good deal. So much parts with it. I'm very thankful of the guy. It has been very well maintained. I have a logbook. It's an 89 Nissan, I'll tell you that right now. But they did maintenance from 90 till today. And I don't know about you, but they were using Havoline 1040 its entire life. And AMS oil for the 5-speed transmission and the differential, which honestly, if you know about AMS oil, that is some expensive stuff right there. I've never used it. I've heard good things about it. Now, since you know it's been well maintained, but it unfortunately was in an accident, and I'll get to that. I'm gonna have to keep logging it like that, so I can keep the journey of it still going. Because if a car has like log maintenance like that, it's awesome. And to know the story of what all has been replaced, that's more general of assumption, what everything else you need, and what you can do, what you can't do, what needs to be done. So I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna show you the new 89 Nissan. So I am at the storage right now, and I miss working on her. I gotta touch up a few other things, but here is the fuel pump. I got the strainer. I've had the new pump. I put that on there about like 3 months ago, but that was my assumption, that those aren't plugged in, so hence it's not reading the fuel pump or the essentially strainer, you know, well, more along the lines of just the fuel pump. So that, I hope that that is the main reason. And I know there's a couple other reasons that I love, the little tedious things that I have to touch up, like redo timing. You know, I want to do that whole water pump. It's a timing kit, it's an interference motor, you got to be careful with that. So I'm excited to show y'all the new project. Well, it has been a bit of a project. I had to put it all back together. My brother Jacob was thankfully enough to help me out. So this is my new 1989 Nissan pickup. And for a while, it was used as a work truck. I got it from, his dad was the original owner, and he was the second owner, and he had it for a little bit, maybe a year and a half, 2 years, couple years. And he unfortunately, he lived up in New Braunfels, Austin. He unfortunately got in a wreck. Obviously, if you know, these trucks don't have ABS. That's why there's mixed match fenders. So when I got there to go look at this truck, it had none of this on there. So imagine there was completely no core support, no hood, no fenders, bunch of power steering stuff missing and all like that, the radiator condenser. When I was there, I wanted to record it, but I wanted to get it done. I was there from 10 in the morning till I got home. I drove it home I got home around 3:45. And he did have a donor truck, which I still have to go pick up, and a couple of other parts. I just put 2 rivets in the core support, one there, and then zip tied the rest. I used about 140, 150 zip ties, which they saved my life because I didn't have that many rivets. And I'm very excited, very happy about this journey, especially because it's an 89. It has the 80s Pathfinder grill, the turn signals. That one's off my my 92 D21. That's what the actual turn signal looks like for these ones. These are just the stock ones. It's just the janky one. That way, not the turn signals, but the, like, I guess daytime running light, essentially, you could say. And I did, if you notice, I put my clear turn signals on the bottom on the bumper from my old D21. So long story short, I put it all back. I drove it home. I zip tied the headlights. No hood, no fenders, no bumper, just the core support. Put the radiator in there, put the condenser in there. Somewhat mounted up with a bunch of zip ties. I got it home. And if y'all know, I got a mini bike, so I drive that back and forth to work, and because I live really close. And shortly after I got this truck, about 11 giant holes started popping in the tire like lumps. So I don't really want to drive that anymore. So I woke up around 6 in the morning. I completely put it all back together, but just the hood. For a good week and a half, I was just using a tarp when it rained. And when I got to my job, I put a tarp and ratchet strap over it. I do need to get new hinges. And it is unfortunately not the KA24. It is the Z24. If you're familiar with that, the Datsun 720s had Z22s. So it's kind of like the 720, then the D21 with this specific Z24 motor. And it's got 106 horsepower, but that's from factory. Now she got 260,000 miles on her. She probably lost some of that. I probably got Miata spec horsepower. No disrespect on Miatas or nothing like that. Fun to drive. But it bent all of it right here. I bent as much as I could back, as if you can see, it's bent up right here, more in. I still got to do that. And I did get an air compressor, and I need to get a paint gun. And I'm thinking about painting it all candy apple red. Or I want to go with the Crown Royal edition, but that's going to cost me a little bit more money. I just got the hood sitting on the actual hinge, and it's barely staying on with the ratchet strap from here down up in there. But for the price that I got it for, and all of that stuff came with it, a whole bunch of spare parts, a whole bunch of manuals came with it. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to drop that. I'm trying to save that. And it came with new taillights. I already put one on because one was broken. And came with a cool early 2000s JVC radio. I got the door cards in the back right here because I had to put new window regulators in it. And if you're familiar with these, down right here, that is what helps it lock. And it came with those, and I could not for the life of me put it on that side. I kept messing up the little tab pushing it in, so I just left it off for now, and I just locked this side and then not that side. I have the door cards off because I still have the factory 4-inch paper speaker there and a brand new Kenwood 4-inch. So me and my brother have this conversion kit for 6.5 to 6.5, and then a better radio, because if I touch that radio, if I try to go to Bluetooth or I touch anything, it immediately shuts off. And I'm trying to upgrade the alternator on this. But she does have a clean title. I did fix her a little bit of body damage. I already put a new fuel pump in it. I need to drop it back down again. A new filler neck. I already did the 2 fuel lines going to it, return and main. New fuel filter, spark plugs, wires, cap, rotor, all of that. I need to do valve cover gasket, oil change, oil pan gasket, and a couple other things in the front. And I needed a coolant reservoir because I touched it wrong and it just crumbled. It's that 80s Nissan magic. But I have to drop that tank, and I have to resolder the connectors for the float because I can't see my gas gauge. And if I'd put the Certiquas right here by the handles just for now, because they're a little finicky. And what's dope, I have a complete full rear spare tire and some extra parts that are in the bed at this very moment. There's that side is the new taillight. I am gonna put my if you remember my 92 D21, I had clear taillights, which I loved. And I'm gonna take the bumper off, make a bracket for the actual license plate, and then I want a nice, I'm probably gonna put a roll pan. I want to lower it 3-inch drop spindles in the front, 2-inch blocks in the rear to level it out while it's lower. I already have some wheels for it. I just need to get tires. I need tires in general because 2 of them are showing some really bad cords. And somewhat of a new exhaust. She needs some decent work, but right now she's the new daily. And as soon as I get the hinges, I can put the hood on there, and I can properly adjust the fenders. And I definitely do need new mirrors, because if you know about these trucks, after a while these like move and they break. And he was cool. I like the fact that he went to an 80s Pathfinder. If you're familiar with the D21, they did not have RPMs and the earlier models. So he cut this out and he went to another 80s Pathfinder, and he got the RPM gauge and it plugged right in. And it's actually nice having RPMs. It's just nice having like the little things. But this is my 89 Nissan D21 pickup. Obviously she's gonna be a 5-speed, and what's even cool is I have the original Nissan actual bed liner. I just wanted to fill y'all in with that. I am going to be posting more. I just wanted to get that more situated immediately, so that way I can actually drive it back and forth to work and have transportation, because my mom uses my truck, because unfortunately we had to send her car to the junkyard, which it was not worth saving. And I just want to let you know I I'm feeling very, very motivated lately, and I really need to get this done. It's not, because if anyone knows me, I've had this thing for too long and it's sat for too long, and it looks so nice and it'd be so cool to see on the road, especially because it's 5-speed, red interior. It's an antique pretty much at this point. She's an 86 and my dad had an 84, so he wants to see this just as much as I do driving on the road. So in a video eventually, I'm gonna put the strainer and the fuel pump, connect it, and in a bucket with some fuel, just to make sure, you know, it primes and everything, because we know about the relays. A lot of people do an aftermarket relay. I forget why, but there has been some cases where it has fried the ECU, because when I got it, I was just told that it needs a fuel pump, and there's a lot whole more that meets the eye. I only got it for 500 bucks at Xbox 360. Funny enough that I got it for that, you know, because he was asking around 1,000. And I was like, hey, I got this Xbox 360 with a bunch of games. I had like over 90 games for that thing. That was a few years back when people still played on the 360. And essentially, this is my first car. I just haven't gotten to driving it. And I'm excited for that, especially to drift it. And I really hope I can grow the channel. You know, thinking about starting our own gaming channel with it as well. You know, maybe play some of y'all guys. Y'all can play with me and my brother on PS4. We love Black Ops, you know, zombies. Always. But, I hope y'all stay tuned. Like, subscribe, comment, share, please. It'd be much appreciated. I hope y'all follow the journey. See y'all. Y'all have a good one.